Mic check, what's going on? Welcome back to another Hip-Hop Snapshot. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and today we open a door most folks don't want to walk through. This week, we continue our arc entitled Behind the Curtain, where we peel back the polish, the plaques, the PR, and the paychecks to look at what really moves the culture and what threatens to undo it. Today, we talk about the pen, the sacred weapon of the MC, the heartbeat of the cipher, the soul of the mic. And let me ask you this question before we begin. Can you be considered authentic in hip-hop if someone else writes the story you speak of? Today, we're going to be addressing ghostwriting and reference tracks and who's really talking behind the mic. Without further ado, grab a milk crate, take a seat. It's time to talk hip-hop history. In hip-hop, authenticity isn't just a flex, it is the foundation and the core element of being an MC. In other genres, collaboration is the norm. Songwriters and pop are expected. R&B, no shame in getting help, but hip-hop, it's different. And why? Well, because hip-hop wasn't born in studios. It was born out of struggle, out of oppression. And the mic wasn't a prop, it was a megaphone for your voice to speak out against the atrocities in this world. So when someone picks up a pen and writes a story for you, are you really the artist or just the delivery system? And let's be clear, there's a difference between collaboration and concealment. Nas didn't ghostwrite Getting Jiggy with It. There's a rumor, but Will Smith went on Drink Champs and talked about it. But he did help write Just Cruising by Will and got credit. That's collaboration. But ghostwriting? That's someone who wrote it all, stayed hidden, and watched someone else collect the credit, the cosigns, and the cultural credibility. And that's where the tension is in our history. So let's go all the way back to 1979. One of my favorite songs, The Message, hadn't even dropped yet. But an artist called Big Bank Hank, one of the three voices behind Rapper's Delight, didn't write his bars for that song. Yeah. He took them word for word from a Bronx battle rapper named Grandmaster Caz without permission. And suddenly the first commercial hip-hop single was built off someone else's work. No shout out, no check, no acknowledgement at all. And in that moment, hip-hop's first mainstream win came at the cost of a stolen voice. That's not just history. That's a blueprint in hip-hop, whether we like it or not. So let's jump way ahead in history, and we're going to land in the year 2015. Drake, on top of the world, gets hit with an accusation that he didn't write his own verses. Meek Mill drops the bomb, and soon someone leaked reference tracks by one Quentin Miller, and they were all over the internet. Suddenly, fans were hearing someone else say, "Running through the six with my woes." And the culture fractured at that point. Some fans shrugged and said, who gives a shit? Song's still good. Who do I care who wrote it? Others took it more personally. Wait, you didn't live this? You didn't write this? Whack. Because hip-hop isn't just music. As we said, it's testimony. When we memorize lyrics, when we're memorizing a song, it's more than that. We're taking time to acknowledge your pain, your struggle, your scars, who you are as an individual. It's how we see you, the artist, outside of just being a regular person. And if that wasn't you, what were we even celebrating in that moment? And let's be honest here, this isn't a black or white issue. There's layers to it. Dr. Dre never claimed to write all his music. He was a producer first, and collaborators helped shape the voice. Kanye, known to build songs with teams, writers, stylists, engineers, it's part of the artistry. But even Ye made sure you knew who was in the room and got the credit for their work. Now, compare that to someone who's fronting like they wrote the entire bar, the pain, the wordplay, the poetry, when the pen belonged to someone else entirely. That's not collaboration, Big Bank Hank. That's theft. That's costume work. And in a genre built on truth, pretending hits very different. And maybe the real question isn't who's real and who's authentic, but what are we protecting? Ego? Tradition? Maybe pride? Or are we guiding the one art form that was supposed to be ours? Unfiltered, undiluted, and unmistakably authentic. If you're in a cipher, right? If you're spitting your pain, your joy, your survival, and I find out that came from someone else, then whose truth am I cheering for? And you know what, man? Let's slow it down then. Because this isn't just about ghostwriting. It's about identity. It's about trust. We don't care if an architect uses a blueprint team, but we do care if someone else built the house and you take all the credit for that. Because hip hop is the only genre where your story is your status. So if your catalog ain't yours, what are you? We memorize the lyrics like gospel. We post them as captions. We tattoo them on our skin. But if the voice we followed was never real, then what the fuck is all this for? All right. Until next time, before you call someone the GOAT, check the liner notes. Before you crown the voice, make sure they live that verse. And if you're chasing the dream, ask yourself this one thing. If the verse is fire but the voice ain't honest, was it ever really hip hop? All right, I'm out. Peace.